Okay guys, this is OG Sailor here again, and going to make a really quick YouTube video on my Intex saltwater system. I have an above ground pool with an Intex pump and saltwater system, and I had the infamous low salt indicator. This is the red up on the right. It says low salt. Okay, it is not on now because I fixed it off camera, so this is a little bit funky of a video, but bear with me. I looked into everything that could be done to fix that. Intex, I called them first. They said soak the electrode in vinegar. All right, the electrode that is a problem according to Intex is not the Echo, which is the small one. The problem is with the titanium electrode, which is the big one. So that's a good start. So we took that out and soaked it in vinegar for hours. Didn't help. Then we disconnected the tubing over here and connected that to the input of the pump. So now the pump was pumping into the salt system. The output of the salt system was going back into the pump. We drained the water and filled the system with vinegar and ran it for a couple hours, doing nothing but circulating vinegar through the whole system. That did not help. Then we looked into all the YouTubes, and they all talked about opening up the circuit board, and in the circuit board, rewiring it so that electrode was on all the time, even without powering on the salt system. And that would then work, but it bypasses all the controls, the timer, the electronics, and everything else in the system. So that's not good. So what did I do that actually fixed it? Okay, if I looked at the electrodes, it has a bunch of plates in it, and these plates had deposits on them, calcium. Now what's supposed to happen is that the electronics are providing 12 volt DC to these plates. Periodically it is supposed to reverse polarity to clean off the plates. My hypothesis is that it wasn't doing that, primarily because it was shutting off too quickly with low salt. So it never was switching polarity and never cleaning the plate. So it's a catch-22 situation. So what did I do to fix this whole thing? All right, first thing to do is power everything off. I'll take you through the process that I actually did to fix it. All right, power off the pump. Now take the pump, turn it to closed. That keeps the water from coming out of here. Go to the output of the pool and turn that to close that. Now all of that means that you're not going to drain your pool onto the ground while you're doing all this. Now do two things. Come into the titanium electrode, pop the wire off, take the cap off. Now this is the problem right here, and if I were to turn it sideways, you could probably still catch a little bit of white deposits right there, kind of, sort of. It's not very easy to see, probably right there. That's the little bit that is left after it's been cleaning here for a while. This side is looking pretty good. All right, so the first thing we did was we ran this into vinegar and cleaned it as well as we possibly could. All right, and in between these plates right here, there were deposits galore. With a Q-tip and a floss system and a very small cable tie, we cleaned out as much as we could. And now you can still see that there is still some in there. All right, so there is still some in there. All right, but it is mostly clean. So we put this back. All right. It only goes in one way. Okay, and it was still draining a little bit of water. One of the valves obviously was not totally closed off. All right, so what I did was, this is a DC connector, but it's reversible. While this only goes in one way, the plug can go in either way. So I put the plug in backward. All right, let me first, all right, this is a little bit hard one-handed, bear with me. All right, so let me get this back together here, get that into there. Again, one-handed. All right, so this is now reversed. And then here, this goes back on. All right. That goes back. All right, it's all together, but it's backward. All right, the electrodes are backward. Now, go back here and open this up again. All right, come over here, turn this from close to filter. Then come back here, put the pump on. Come back here, put the booster on, or the salt system. Now it is clearing air out of the system and making chlorine and cleaning off those contacts. And there's no red light. That's what I did. Cost was $0, except for a little bit of vinegar. Enjoy.